Saturday Hockey Talk live with your host, Rick. And hey, that's me. Hey, everybody, welcome into Saturday Hockey Talk. I say everybody, and I'm not sure who's here. Let's see. Hey, Petty, how's it going? You enjoyed the video, I'm assuming? I appreciate that. A bit long for my own personal taste, but I couldn't keep it any shorter. I tried to edit it down, but it didn't want to stay down. Mark Roy, how's it going? Thanks for coming in on this late notice. I kind of put this up pretty late, so I usually am on at 9:30, but I was working really late and I didn't know if I'd make it, so I put it up really late, and I'm not surprised not a lot of people here yet. Hopefully there'll be more people show up. Hey, Matt Outdoor, thanks for coming in. So we'll see. It's basically question and answer. So you guys question, and I shall answer, or at least attempt to. There's not a whole lot of news out today. I was working all day, and I didn't really spend a ton of time looking for stuff. But there wasn't a lot of stuff. Mark Roy, no problem. Anytime you show up, it's always good to have you. How you been? Season's here, so I'm sure there's a lot of people that haven't really come by in the off season. So now that the season's here, I'm sure we're going to see a lot of people we haven't seen in a while. So that's always good. And yeah, so I just put out a what am I going to call it? Well, what did I call it? A rankings video. So I ranked a very early final rankings video, divisions by divisions, and then I gave the bottom 10 teams that I thought would be the bottom 10 teams. So yeah, so hopefully you guys will check that out. Hey, Harry, Kelly, and that's Mark again. Busy with 2 jobs. That always sucks. I know what that's like, believe me. But hey, Kelly, and hey, Harry, how's it going? So Harry showing up reminds me that if you are able to make the fantasy draft tomorrow night at 8 o'clock Eastern Standard Time, there are spots open. Let me know in the room that you want to be in there, and I'll send you the I'll send the details, an invite to the to a team. So that's tomorrow night at 8. You got to be able to show up because I'd rather not have teams that draft auto draft. That's no fun. So, no, it's Saturday tonight. Matt is not able to. Matt's said day off Saturday. Excuse me. Yeah, Matt's not going to be on any Saturday shows, and it turns out Thursday and Saturday. So anything that's on Thursday or Saturday, Matt won't be around for that. He is. It's date night. Saturday is date night. So, it's a good reason. It's a good reason. Hey, Sean, how's it going? This could be a bad start of the year with all the people out. I hope we can hang in there until some come back. Well, I imagine that's the plan. They should have the depth to get started anyway for the season. The big problem is, goaltending. We'll have to see how Montembeault does. He's kind of unknown. I mean, I think 26 games, is his career so far. So he's got good potential, but we'll have to see the goaltending can hang in there. If born to be a Hab, how's it going for you? I'm doing okay. Rob Dario. I'm hoping for an awesome season, Rob. I'm hoping for an awesome one. Thomas Barone, how's it going? Hey, I'm glad everybody's showing up. I put this out so late. I wasn't sure if, it's Thanksgiving weekend, so I don't know what everyone's doing for Thanksgiving. I'm not doing much. I was considering maybe doing a stream on Monday, but we'll see. My nose is itchy. I don't know why. Always when I go on air, my nose gets itchy. Montembeault's got some good promise, that's for sure. He's a local kid. He's from Bécancour. There's some good promise there. So glad they picked him up. They kind of say it wasn't completely known that this was going to happen. So I wonder if there wasn't an educated guess there. But I think they knew Price was going to miss some games anyway, even if they didn't know about this. So yeah, I'm glad they picked him up. Harry, I agree with you, but the problem is we don't know how long Price is out, right? If it's the 30 days, okay, I definitely. If he's out for a lot longer, this could be a problem. That's all. And then again, Montembeau could prove like fantastic, and all's good. We don't know. Is Price out for the whole season? We don't know this. This is not a question that can be answered right now. The D is questionable. If the D don't play well, the goaltenders won't look good. That's the bad part. And for me, I don't know. I think the D is good enough. I think for me, it's the pairings, how they match them up, and that's what worries me the most. We'll see how that works out. Did I get everything? I think I got everything so far. Yeah. So I wouldn't write Montembeau like off because we don't know, and he's young, so we got to give him a chance. I thought in his first game there, he had a lot of shots against. Sure, he gave up 6 goals, but I mean, he had a lot of shots against. I thought he did pretty good overall. So we'll have to see. What was it? 40. It's either 44 or 47 shots against. He gave up 6 goals. It's not horrible, and it's a preseason game. I think Montembeau's first preseason game. I don't know that he played anywhere else. Yeah, I thought he did okay. We'll find out. I mean, also, if Allen has to be the number one goalie all year, this could be a problem. He's proven that's not his best place, is to be the guy all season for long periods of time. So I worry about that. If Price is going to be out for the whole season, I don't know where they'd get a goalie that would be a starter, right? So I don't know where else they'd get a goalie. So I'm telling you, goaltending is going to be a problem if Price is out long term. Who do you think will get recall from Laval if there is any injuries? Well, it's obviously going to be depending on position, right? Also, who's playing well that's down there? That's going to say more than anything else who's playing well at the time that there's a recall. And it's just a little hard to tell. I think we're going to have trouble scoring on a consistent basis. If that is the case, we need a solid goalie. Thomas, I think the scoring might be the one thing that's not going to be a problem. I think the offense is going to be better. So I think that might be the surprise. That's not going to be the problem, but we'll see what happens. I see a lot of negatives with all the people out, but at least no. But the best collection of forwards we have had in a long time might pull them through. Exactly, basically what I just said. Hey, Bob, how's it going? Hey, James. I wonder if this is a glimpse of what. Wait a second. I wonder if this is a glimpse of what it will be like when Price is done. It's going to happen. So I would be looking for a goalie that will fill that need eventually. What do you think? Well, I think that's what the hope is for Primo. So, yeah, I mean, you might be right. Do I think Price is done? I don't. Do I think he could miss significant time this season and possibly all of this season? I do, actually. So, but I don't think he's done in his career. Lucas, hey, Lucas. Happy Saturday. Excited for the draft tomorrow? Yeah, I mean, they're always fun. Drafts are fun. It's fun to it's more exciting before than after because the unknown of, well, who am I going to get? And then after, it's usually or oftentimes somewhat of a letdown. I don't know. That's how I find it. I guess depending on where you end up drafting. There's going to be right now 8 teams, so we've got plenty of room for more if anybody wants to join. So it pretty much doesn't matter where you draft, you're going to get good players. Petty, I see many people say Ottawa is going to be better than Montreal, and Montreal going right above Detroit. Like, that's a joke. Listen, I think with Brady being Brady Kachuk, excuse me, being out, I don't see how people are going to say that. The longer Brady Kachuk is out, the worse Ottawa is going to do. Obvious, I think that's obvious. So, yeah, I think that's a joke as well. Anyways, my predictions are out. So, keep it $500. What's that about? Keep it 100. No, I'm keeping it 500. I don't get what that's about there, Dixon. Hey, Dixon, by the way. Jay Filardo, how's it going? Okay, I got to go back in that one. Who doesn't seem to be stepping? James Shaw, who? If you're talking about Montembeault, he's only played one game. I mean, I don't think you've given him enough time to be saying he's not stepping up. Renegade Man, do you think it's hilarious that Sabres fans still want a huge return for Eichel? Example for Habs, they want Caulfield and 4 first-round picks for a guy who will be out for 4 to 5 months. Yeah, well, it's ridiculous at this point now, right? I mean, I don't see how they move him till the offseason, or the deadline at the earliest. I don't see how they move him. So yeah, it's kind of ridiculous. I don't know what's going to happen with that. They say it's getting closer to happening, but I mean, that's been 3-4 months we've been hearing that. Harry, have you thought about getting a Discord started for the chat? I have a Discord. It's a matter of not getting it started, but reactivating it and getting. I don't have time. I don't know how I would find the time. To be honest, I don't have time. Well, like I said, Harry, I've got one going. Let me speak with Matt and see if what we can do about that. But you're right. I mean, you're right. But for me, I don't know where I'm going to find the time to get in there. But you're right. I've got to get my Discord going. But there is a Discord that you can join. I'm not sure if I still have it in the description. But I think I took it out because I wasn't in there. But I can put it back in there. And, yeah, we can get something going there. So I'll speak to Matt about that. Lucas, I think Ottawa will surprise people as long as they can figure out the Kachuk issue soon. Well, yeah, I mean, I do, but I said in my video that the reason I had Ottawa a little lower than maybe people thought is that exactly this Kachuk situation doesn't sound like they're going to get it solved anytime soon, from what I can understand. So we'll see what happens. Speaking of drafting, we haven't been a good drafting team, at least not in the last little while. Wonder if we should be dangling our picks to other teams. Yeah, see, I would disagree with you there. You could say we haven't been a good drafting team up until the last little while. I'm not big on their last draft, the first pick. That's obvious. But, I mean, I think the last 2-3 seasons they've been drafting well. Do I know what BLM stands for? I don't know if in this case. Let me know what it stands for. I'm not going to make a guess because I could be. Black Lives Matter. I mean, unless that's not it, tell me. I've seen a few YouTubers, Gravity, for sure, posted today about MB is done as a GM with the Habs. What is the likelihood he remains, or will he move on? If so, who is a likely replacement? Yeah, well, first of all, it's a little early to say that. With everything that's been going on, it's the clickbaity topic right now. I'm going to talk about it a little bit in the my next video. Excuse me, my nose is itchy. Weekend hockey update. I've got a little bit of that there. I mean, I think there's something to it. It's really a strange situation. I don't know what to make of it yet. As far as who is a likely replacement, there's so many names out there that I don't know. Nobody with experience. I don't know. Let's find out whether it's something that's happening or not before I start replacing him. I mean, I don't know what's going on with that. It is a very weird situation. There was a release from a PR guy from the Habs, and like the wording was very weird to me. Like I said, I'm going to talk about it in the next video. Opinions on the possible, again, same question. I think it's as likely as it is unlikely. I mean, he's obviously negotiating for a new contract. I saw someone actually put it like this: is he negotiating his way out of town on purpose, or is he really negotiating for a new contract? But like the rumor is that he's given his price and he's not budging. He was offered a contract that he turned down last year, so we'll see what happens. Like, I don't know. I've been saying it's negotiation, and I don't know. He looks tired. He looks like he aged a lot. I mean, like maybe he wants to leave. I don't know. What do you think of Montreal's bottom six? Well, it looks like Ryan Poehling made it. Looks like. I don't know. Does anybody know where Paquette is? I haven't seen hide nor hair of Cedric Paquette in a week and a half. So I think it's a good bottom six. You got right now. You got well, when Hoffman gets back, it'll be even better. But you've got right now Armia, Evans, Gallagher, and I think it's going to be Perreault, Poehling, Lehkonen as the bottom six to start the season. I think that's pretty good. I missed something here. Hang on, I gotta scroll. First time in a while I've had to scroll. Wow. He who shall not be named. What was that? Primo. Why is he not he who should not be named? I'm missing you on that, James. Sorry. The Habs were very close on drafting Nico Koivu. He was drafted 6, and Komisarek was chosen 7. Well, yeah, they probably would have taken him if Minnesota didn't draft him ahead, I guess, yeah. I think Buffalo will have to let Eichel have the surgery and move on. I mean, I would think so, but so far it doesn't look like it. James, I warmed up to him pretty quickly, but yeah, I was saying somebody I was talking about was a friend of mine. It's kind of like you've got how do I want to put it? Like people are complaining or complained about him, right? How at the beginning of his term here, he wasn't very good, made bad trades, made bad draft, whatever you want to say. But in the last couple of years, 3 years, 4 years, he's gotten to be a pretty good GM. That's when you want to get rid of him. I don't understand the thinking there. Guy learning on the job gets it. You want to get rid of him then. That's not a way to get better and stay better, in my opinion. Now, does he want to stay? I don't know. Maybe Bergevin is already signed, but they are waiting to announce. I doubt that. Honestly, that I doubt. Okay, Petty. That's the first I'm hearing that Paquette's hurt. Okay, but I've not heard this. How come you guys know this? I don't. Anybody know what's wrong with him? I mean, that makes sense. That's why I haven't seen him around. But he's injured, but he's back on the ice. Oh, well, we'll see. Day to day. I think when he comes back, Ryan Poehling will be going down. Yeah, I don't know. I just haven't heard anything about Paquette personally, and I look all the time, so I don't know. It's a surprise to me. Hey, Roberto, how's it going? You're optimistic. Right now, I don't know that I can be that optimistic at this point. We'll have to see how things turn out, but right now, I don't know. James thinks it's the deepest team we've had in years. I think on offense, I think you can say that. That's for sure. It was fun seeing Commissaric getting his butt kicked 3 times by Lucic, especially the Leafs overpaying him. Yeah, brings back memories. Lehner, a top 10 goalie? Yeah, I don't know that I can answer that off the top of my head. All I know is that, boy, the NHL silenced that guy, right? The NHLPA had a talk with him. He was going in to meet with the NHL people. He did, said they were going to work with him. I haven't heard another word from him. So I don't know if that's not silencing somebody. I don't know what is. So we'll have to see what happens with that one. James Shaw, no, I get it. I get what you were saying before. I was just giving you my analogy. That's all. Bob, from one YouTuber today quoting Pierre LeBrun, said that apparently the Kachuk camp turned down 8 years, $8 million, which the Senators can't possibly afford. So there may be a trade looming. No, the Sens have plenty of money. That's not. They're at. I checked maybe yesterday. Their cap hit right now is $60 million. They got plenty of space. Apparently, though, it's the term that's the problem. The Sens would apparently, I'm saying apparently a lot again, would like to sign him to 8 years. I don't think Brady Kachuk wants the 8 years. I think that's what the problem is. He wants the $8 million and maybe a little more, but he doesn't want 8 years, I don't think. So it's what I heard today. So where do you see us finishing up this year? I just put out a video saying exactly that. So check it out. It's in my latest video. It is called, what did I call it again? Predicting it's a very early, I don't even remember what it's called now. I'm going to take a look over here. Early final NHL standings predictions, ranking teams in their divisions, plus bottom 10. So yeah, I just put that out. I would prefer you go and watch it and find out what I said there, where I rank Montreal, than saying it here right now. I don't know why. It's only 19 people here. It's not a big deal. Okay, I'll tell you where I ranked them actually. For Montreal, I ranked them right now with Carey Price situation and everything. I'm ranking them just outside in 5th in the division. I'm only doing division. I only did division rankings, so. Harry said, so that's Paquette and LBI. I have not heard anything about Paquette. I'm not joking. I have not. I guess it's just, I just missed it, I guess. But I've been looking because I've been curious. What the hell's with Paquette? Hey, Boozer. How's it going, Dave? Good to see ya. Franco. Hey, Franco's in the room. If there's nothing, Chicago report, maybe Bergevin is president hockey ops and Matthew Darche comes in as the GM. That's the last thing I actually heard about it, is that Matthew Darche, if Bergevin goes to president of hockey operations. If this doesn't pan out, might be because Roy playing spoiler. I don't know why, but I doubt that, Patrick Roy. I kind of doubt that, but maybe you're right. But I definitely heard that the hockey ops and Matthew Darche thing. Paquette hurt, and Ryan will be going back down when he comes back. He was good enough to be everyday player with Tampa. From what I understand, he wasn't an everyday. I was reading, what is it? He hasn't played an 82-game season yet. So I don't know that that's true there. I was kind of thinking that Poehling, and I think I've said it, that Poehling and Paquette probably will split time as fourth-line center. To what extent, I don't know. And Poehling is waiver exempt, I think, right now. So I believe he can go up and down. So, yeah, it's probably the way it's going to be. If Paquette's hurt, then that's probably what it is. Harry says, I'll be honest, can't see how we let go of Bergie and get an equally good or better GM to replace him that helps us win. if he does want to resign and we just don't resign him. Yeah, well, I don't. It's not about that he wants to resign, but we don't resign him. They offered him a contract. What did I read? It's either a 3 or a 5 year extension that he turned down. So it's not about that. It's about, does he want to or not? Does he want to or not? Does he want to stay here? Personally, I think at this point, 10 years in, for him to stay, I think you got to make him president of hockey operations. And either he does the dual role for a season till he finds a replacement for a GM, or he leaves and you bring in somebody else. I don't know. But for me, I think after 10 years, yeah, it's got president of hockey operations, or you let him go, because if you're not ready to move him up to that, then maybe it's time to move on. I'd be sad for that to happen. I think he's doing a good job. I don't see how we're going to get better if he goes. Dixon thinks Montreal finishes in second in the division. Well, I'm not saying that's impossible. I think that's lofty heights right now, especially with Price unknown. If Price only misses 30 days, the minimum that he can miss, and he comes back and everything's good and he has a great season, all that, okay, I think maybe, but that would be Florida would really have to be doing bad. I mean, I don't know. Toronto, Boston, I don't really. I think if Montreal's doing well, if Price is here and everything's going well, I think Boston's the team that falls out. But for second, I don't know. I think that's lofty, personally. No, I'm not going to read that. Senators owner is cheap. Yeah, we all that we know. If Price is out for more than 30 days, does this mean we get his cap hit back? I don't think for 30 days. If he's going to be out for longer than that, or after 30 days they deem that he's going to be out for a lot longer, I think then, but I don't know about now. I don't know. Besides, if you do get the money, you spend it and he comes back in 30 days, well, you got to get rid of that money again, because it doesn't. So that doesn't make sense. Hey, Zachary, thank you. Good luck to you too. May the better team win, which will be Montreal, so it's no problem there. Dave, you're out moose hunting. Well, that's a Newfoundland thing to do, I would think. The Rick Roller, apparently it's because Molson doesn't want to pay Bergie what he's asking for. Well, that's it. He's got a price, and I don't know what the price is though. But hey, if the guy is paid to negotiate, well, I expect him to negotiate a good salary too. Yeah, no, exactly. And maybe he's trying to get Molson to put him as or have him as president of hockey operations. They don't have one currently. To have him move into that, like maybe that's what the negotiation is. I don't really know, but apparently he's asked for what he wants, and he's not budging. Is what how Pierre LeBrun put it. I think it was Pierre LeBrun. I wonder if the mess in Chicago has anything to do with MB dragging his feet. Might be way out in left field, but I still wonder. I don't know. The last I heard about that is it's like basically going to be swept under the rug, and we're not going to hear any more about it. So I don't know. I think that is like that's already history. It's like I don't know that that's going to be anything. So I don't think it's that. Oh, I'm hanging in, Dave. I'm hanging in as good as can be expected with the knees and the back and the this and that. And as you get older, the list goes on. RPM, how's it going, my friend? Slinksy, they announced Leafs and Sens are going to have full capacity, but too bad because there are no Sens fans. Yep, that's very true. That means they'll have to ship in fans from the other team that's visiting. I bet you there's more fans of other teams that would be visiting than there are actual Sens fans. The better team is the Leafs. Well, we will see about that. We're going to see about that. The problem with Bergie is what happens if he screws up? The fans will want him gone. With the fans, that's what's new. What's different about how it's been the last 2-3 years? Have you heard of NHL is penalizing Carolina for playing? That's going to be in my video tomorrow. For playing 4 preseason games instead of obligatory 6. Bergevin pointed this out. Surprised NHL didn't know before he told them. This is what I understand is that no, there's no penalty for it. So I think, I honestly, if there's going to be no penalty for it, I don't understand why, and it's not confirmed. At least from what I've read, it's not confirmed that Montreal ratted out Carolina. But I believe it. But I don't understand why if there's no penalty, what's the use? But I'm gonna do a piece about this about Carolina and Montreal. Are they going to be the new the NHL's version of the Hatfields and the McCoys? Because there's definitely a feud going on, and it's definitely happening. Something's going on there anyway. They don't like each other, and they're getting pretty petty with each other about things they're doing. So, from what I understand, there's no fine. There's no penalty for not doing it. The NHL leaves the teams to schedule their own preseason games. And apparently because of that, they don't really pay attention. But it's something in their rules, or they mandated 6 preseason games for every team. So we'll see what happens with it. But there's definitely some hard feelings on both sides in this feud. Sens fans are pathetic. They always depend on the visiting team's fans for sellouts. Yeah, well, when you don't have enough fans, that's what you got to do, right? If they replaced MB, would you want an older guy or a young guy? I would want a hockey guy, legitimate hockey guy, and I don't care what language as long as he's qualified. And I don't care the age either as long as he's qualified. It's okay. Don't come down too hard on Zachary. He's a good guy. He's a Leafs fan, yeah, but he's a good guy. He's been around a long time in the room here, so yeah. The Leafs fans in general are planning a parade. All or nothing. We'll see if it's nothing again this year for them. If Leafs are serious, they got to pass the first round of playoffs, and they haven't done that since 2004. Personally, I think Leafs fans should not be allowed to chirp at all until their team wins a round in the playoffs. Until then, zip it. That's what I think, but it's okay. Zachary's a good guy, and I'll let him talk. He's proven that he's okay. There's only one legit replacement for MB, and that's well, yeah, I don't know that I agree with that, but hey, listen, there's a lot of people that think that, so I don't know. For me, no, but we'll see. And I love Patrick. Well, it's not. I just don't know if he's the right guy for the job. We went through the growing pains with Bergevin. Now that he has become a good GM, do we want to start over? Not me. That's the way I feel. But if he wants to move on, what is our choice going forward? I don't think Morel is coming here. First of all, he doesn't speak French, so. But yeah, basically, it's how I feel. We went through the hard years. Now that he's a lot better, why we want him to leave? But then again, if he does want to leave, there's nothing we can do there. Can't force a guy to stay. RPM, very good point, which is probably the selling point. I guess. I mean, why? But maybe the odds are likely that if they're going to replace him, it would be Roy, because there's not a lot of candidates out there. Honestly, there's not. So you either get another rookie candidate, or you get wow, who's not? I don't know about GM. Was he GM in Colorado, or he was just coach, wasn't he? So I don't know about the GM part, but he's been GM and owner of the Quebec Rempart for a while. So, but still, I guess either way, it's a rookie. But I don't know. I don't know. If it ain't broke, don't fix it. There's a lot of us who don't as well. I'm not sure what that's about. Sorry, James. I predict that KK and the Hurricanes will be a very good team this year. Brindamore and Waddell have assembled some good talent, pretty strong now at center. Yeah, my predictions, I have them at third in their division. Why? Because I don't like them. I say it. I basically say it in the video, so I don't make any bones about it. I refuse to put them at first and second, so I put them at third. But unfortunately, Bob, you're pretty much right. And yeah, what can you do? The best guy for the job is the guy already doing it. I think so in this case, James. Oh, Franco, I would definitely agree with you on that. If Patrick Roy gets the job, yeah, I don't think he wants any part of Bergevin being president of hockey ops. So I think if Bergevin gets president of hockey ops, he's not bringing in Patrick Roy. I doubt that very much. Renegade Man, yeah, but the Nordiques aren't coming back, dude. I would love it, but they're not. Are we worried about Roy's ginormous ego? Not for a couple of, I think, get the words out, Rick. For a couple of seasons, not really. If he were to come here, I think his shelf life though is short, kind of like John Tortorella's, right? Torts' shelf life was not going to be long anywhere because of the way that they coach. Um, as a GM, I don't know, but that ego probably would have him out of the job sooner than later. I would have to think. Ellen, Leafs fans should be held off. Should hold off on the applause. After last year, I guess Leafs fans have temporary memory loss. Leafs fans have, yeah. Well, if they didn't have temporary memory loss, they wouldn't be Leafs fans. Think about that, right? They wouldn't be Leafs fans after a while. Matthew Darsh would be a good GM. That's what they say, but again, he'd be a rookie GM, and you just don't really know that. And he'll have a growing in period, that just like Bergie had. There's no way around it really, unless he's a phenom at that position. I doubt it. So I don't think it's better. RPM says, I think MB will get the money he wants. The team is building up to something special. I don't think Molson wants to turn it over to a newbie. I would hope that's the case. Honestly, I would. I would hope that a few dollars doesn't really get in the way of the progress that's going on so far. That is, unless they give up the rule about having a French GM and they go out and get the best GM available, no matter what language they speak or no matter where they're from. As long as it's the best guy available, that's a different story. Don't get that. I'm not going to say that, Franco. Bob Hartley is another option, apparently, for coach. I don't know about GM, though. I think for coach, not GM. James, that's the problem, though. Of course, we all have to start somewhere. But I don't want another new guy starting here in Montreal. If it's not a rookie coach, it's a rookie GM. How many times do you want to go through that? Austin Matthews and Josh Anderson used to do the same. What? Where do you get that? Oh, I thought you said do. But what does that? Date the same girl? Where? But really, like, where'd you hear that from? That's something. Like, I don't know where to get that from. Hopefully, after she went out with Matthews, he dipped her in boiling hot water first. I mean, that's my hope. Lamoriello once worked for the Habs when Sam Pollock left, and they went with her. I don't. That's something. That would be something totally new to me, but I had never heard that one before at all. So, don't know. Coach Frenchie's another channel. Oh, okay, get it. Oh, I didn't know that. How much does this team make, Molson? It is an area he can spend under a salary. I'm not sure what you mean by that. I'm really not. Remember, if the team doesn't spend up to the salary cap, it doesn't necessarily save the owner money out of his pocket like a lot of people think. I think that's a misnomer. You know her. Oh, okay. Well, I'm sorry to say that about your friend there, but that would be my reaction. Yeah, James, that's why we got to stop putting this requirement. As simple as that. Renegade Man, yeah, I know that, and that's why I got upset when last season when now I want to say was it when Kirk Muller took over or when Luke Richardson took over and Bergevin had to say he apologized that he was a unilingual coach. And I thought, gee, that really pissed me off. I mentioned it in some videos, and yeah, I don't know. I don't like the subject. Sorry. The owner can spend more than a GM. He can afford it. More for a GM. He can afford it. Well, sure he can. GM salary doesn't go against the cap. That's number one. And as far as does the team make enough money to pay for it? Of course they do. Montreal makes pretty good money. And Molson's not. He's not poor. Yeah, I think. I think as long as Bergevin wants to stay here, I think eventually Molson will have to pony up some more cash to keep him, and I think he will. By the way, I guess I should do this. Give a thumbs up if you're having a good time. Let's see what number. Who do we stop on? Stopped at number 27. Alex Romanov's number. Give a thumbs up if you're having a good time. Subscribe. Ring that notifications bell. That'll get you notified whenever I put out a video. And what else do I like to say? Give money to the channel. If you give money to the channel in any way by taking a membership or by donating any money for a super chat or super sticker, you could win a hat like this, which we're going to be giving away next Wednesday in the first intermission. As to all people who have donated to the channel, and I give them the hats away or give prizes away every now and then. And the last one was right at I think the last playoff game, or the second to last playoff game, and then everybody since then they're in the running to win this next one. So a long way to say, please give us money. No, I don't really mean it like that. Let's go back to you guys. Where was I? Oh, still talking about, well, that's what I just said anyways, that he'll get his money. You know, he might not get as much as he's asking, but there'll be some kind of compromise. Although I tell you what, if you look at his press conference, I mean, the guy looks tired. He definitely looks tired. He's looking, I don't know, maybe he wants out. But Ellen, are you saying that? Well, first of all, if you're saying Patrick Roy won a cup with Colorado when he was at the helm of Colorado, you mean in nets? He was the goalie. He didn't win a cup as their coach. So, like, he doesn't have a history as a coach of winning a cup. So, I mean, I don't know. In general, I don't know. As much as I love Patrick Roy, the player, I don't know that I'm the same for Patrick Roy, the coach and GM. Right. CRPM has the right of it pretty much right there. He won as a player. And what did he last? Was it 2 years? A little over 2 years or 2 seasons as the coach? So, you know, I guess it's an opinion. I don't know yet. I think he's going to have to win a couple of cups, or at least a Stanley Cup, to be considered that for Price. I mean, Roy was the ultimate clutch win goal. You needed a win in a big game. Patrick Roy was your guy. So I think for that, Price still has a ways to go. I don't see any scenario where the ultra conservative Habs bring back a guy who demanded to be traded out of Montreal and has a history of being a complete hothead. Started 2 fights as junior coach. Yeah, well, as far as the demanding to be traded out of Montreal stuff, I think they've made up, and that's in the past. But you're right. I mean, he's known to be a hothead. As far as to be GM, no, I could see maybe as a coach. I just don't see the GM side, really. I don't see it here in Montreal. Jedi Dick Sensei. When I was a little kid, I thought horseradish was made from real horses. Okay. Yeah. Romanov could use a guy like Markov to mentor him, but Weber was good with him. Weber. I got confused because I thought you were talking on the ice. Yeah. Well, I think that's why Romanov's playing with Petrie in preseason so far, right? So I don't know that. I mean, I doubt that'll continue. Well, it depends when Edmondson comes back, really. So I don't know what we'll see at the beginning of the season. But I think that Romanov was playing with Petrie for that reason, to be mentored on the ice by Petrie, to get to be a little bit more like Petrie is. And we could sort of then, that way we can call the ice surface a Petri dish for Romanov. Yeah, that's a dad joke. That maybe not a good one. I just don't see him as a GM who can win friends and influence other GMs around the league. If we're talking about Patrick Roy, I mean, yeah. GM, no. I mean, I don't GM. I just don't see it. Roy quit. Did he quit after his third season? He resigned? Oh, yeah, or he was fired. I'm not sure. But anyways, it was 3 seasons he lasted. Okay, I thought it was only 2. 2 plus. But I was wrong. Oh, wow, so now we're in. Wow. But yeah, I don't see Patrick Roy coming in. Let's see what I can talk about from my notes for the show tomorrow. So, just for anybody wondering about the show tomorrow, if you haven't seen the first episode of Weekend Hockey Update, it's basically a bunch of news stories that I've gathered up all week. A couple of them are not real ones, and most of them are. And I'm just going to talk about that kind of stuff. So it's a weekend news show. So hopefully you guys will like that, and you'll enjoy some of my little funny parts. Little funny parts. Yeah. That like naughty bits? No. Valentino Habs. Hey, I remember you, and I told the story about how my mom was. They wanted my mom to call me Valentino because I was born on Valentine's Day. How's it going? Patrick Roy resigns from Avalanche, leaves after coaching Colorado to Stanley Cup playoffs, 1 time in 3 seasons. That's the headline from an NHL website. So, yeah, so he did resign. So he had a Stanley Cup playoff appearance once in 3 seasons. So, I mean, I don't know. I don't see. I mean, I get that he was a star player here, but that doesn't make him maybe like a winning coach. It's not gonna. Dvorak has been as advertised in preseason. I'll say that as advertised. I'm really looking forward to seeing him in the regular season, and I think we're gonna really like Dvorak. Nothing I've seen so far has changed my mind on that. Good point. I forgot that stuff there, Bob. You're right. He stepped down after he felt he wasn't getting enough input into hockey decisions. So again, he didn't like something, then sulked and quit another team. So yeah, I mean, if they hire him as coach, well, he wants GM. If they hire him as GM, he wants to be president. So I don't know whether that's going to be good. And right, first season they did great. I remember that first season, great, and after that, no. That's why I say he's a short-term replacement. So if he comes in here as coach, it's 2 seasons about. I'm too negative sometimes. Well, I feel strongly about this, so and listen, you're obviously allowed to have your opinion. My opinion isn't necessarily right, except when in the cases that it is, and that's usually most of the time. But other than that, no, listen, your opinion could be just as right as mine. But no, seriously, I mean, we're allowed our opinions on this matter. And mine, I don't know that I'm being too negative. If you look at his history is there for you to judge by. And that's what I'm going by. That's it. Wonder if Roy would have the patience needed to coach the young players coming into the league. Most likely not. Well, we'll have to see if he gets hired. I don't think they're hiring him, though. I don't. James says, me too. I think Dvorak is going to grow on the Habs as a player, so much so we will all forget about KK and ultimately thank the Hurricanes for doing us a favor. Hey, that's how it could work out. And listen, KK could go on to have a really good career, but so like Dvorak could be great here for the 4 years, re-sign, stay another 4 years, do great, and it's not, kind of makes it neither here nor there if that's the case, right? So we didn't have KK, yes, but we ended up with a different guy, same result or as good a result or whatever, you know. So that's how I look at it. Matthew Darsh will probably be next Habs GM if Bergevin doesn't return. That's the rumor right now. I don't know that I would say probably, but it's the rumor right now anyway. I've read that a few times lately. I'd seen it before that too, but again, no experience. Although I believe he's an assistant somewhere. So, but no experience as GM. The GM. Well, RPM, yeah, I talked about that earlier. Could he want to be? Excuse me, I just ate before the show. Could MV want to take over as team president and groom his own successor? You would think that well, if he takes over as team president of Hockey Ops, then yeah, he probably will groom his own successor. He'll name his own successor, obviously. But I would think he'd want to take over. He'd want that position. There is no current president of Hockey Ops. They don't have that position, but I'm sure he'd like to be the president of Hockey Ops. Do I think Devo actually likes Montreal? I don't see why he wouldn't. I've heard nothing either here or there otherwise, but I mean, he's new. Give him a chance to get it acclimated to the city a little longer before we talk about that. Really, no need to. I don't see why he wouldn't though. I think people in general, if they meet him and find out who he is, are excited to have him here. So I would think that helps. I think you would go with Marty Brodeur over Roy, but again, Brodeur, no experience, but I think isn't he as an assistant somewhere as well? So I don't know. James, I mean that's a good point. It's a possibility that he wouldn't have. I think he might. I think he might be. I don't want to say right or wrong, but you might be onto something there. I think he's got just as much opportunity over there to develop anyway. I guess that's how I'll put it. I mean, I don't know. I haven't. I still think he'll be a good hockey player, but the thing is, he hasn't landed yet, right? So we don't know. I mean, he could still be a bust. He might, not at his age yet, but he hasn't landed yet. That's the whole thing. Whereas we got a player who has landed and has so much room to improve from what he's shown so far in the NHL. I think I got off base here, but well, which one was I answering? This one over there, and blah, blah. Yeah, I don't know that he wouldn't have, like KK wouldn't have fully developed here. I think maybe it would have taken longer here than there, but I think, yeah. Anyway, we'll find out in the next 2-3 years what kind of player he is going to be. Darsh is the director of hockey operations. Oh, that's what it is. He's director of hockey operations for the Tampa Bay Lightning. No experience, but maybe mentored by the likes of Serge Savard. True. Still, it's still a rookie in the job, and I don't know. But again, if Marc Bergevin wants out and he wants to leave, well, we're not going to chain him to the office and make him stay. So we might end up with that because Bergevin does want out. We don't know. The Habs really screwed up KK. They rushed him to the big team way too soon. They've done the same with Romanov, and I only hope he can handle the pressure. I mean, I think that's an opinion you can have. I don't know that I have that same opinion. Although I tend to think that you might be right that he probably maybe shouldn't have been here till actually maybe last season should have been his rookie season. Yeah, I'm leaning towards that, but I don't know that means it's the same with Romanov though. Everybody's different. Romanov, I think, I don't know. He might be more prepared for the pressure and everything at his age. I mean, it's hard to say with players. But you can't look at every player and say, well, this guy did this or this happened and he reacted this way, and it's going to be the same with another guy. We don't know that. Well, okay, then James goes on to say that right after I said it. I didn't see that yet. Would Vincent Damphousse be an option for GM? I know he's been talked about as well. Again, would be a rookie at it, I believe. Okay, we'll talk to them enough. Everyone has to start somewhere. Yeah, I know, but I mean, I'd like to start out in management in the NHL as well. Are they going to give me the job because I got to start somewhere? It doesn't mean that. Obviously, they have more experience than I do at anything, but yeah, I don't think that's a reason to give the guy the job because everyone has to start somewhere. I don't want to take a step back in that position when we're getting somewhere. Finally. If Suzuki started the year earlier, I doubt with his skills and mindset, it would have destroyed his career. It might not have destroyed his career. I doubt that too, but maybe he wouldn't be as good a player as it looks like he's going to turn out to be, and he is so far. But like I said, it's still every player is different. Uh, um, yeah. Carbo was always said to be a hockey wizard. Might he be an option as also? I don't know. I don't know if Carbo has any. Um, I mean, it also would be a rookie GM. I don't know that he has any desire to be a GM or not. I don't know. Remember the KK draft? The Habs were so short of talent down the middle, and so they took the best center available. Basically, bowing to fan pressure. I think Kachuk was available, but passed on him. Yeah, Kachuk was taken next pick after him. I wanted Kachuk at the time. Um, but still, that doesn't like they didn't have to bring him up that next season, or I should say, keep him straight out of camp. They could have sent him back to Finland. I know. I heard Bergevin say that it wouldn't have changed anything. They didn't see anything that would have made going back to Finland would make a difference. Like that wouldn't have made a difference. So that's what they say. I don't know. Yeah, but how would Stefan Wade know that exactly? I don't know, Franco. I don't know. I hadn't heard that before. What was my favorite era of hockey? Oh, you didn't go back far enough. The 70s. I grew up in the 70s hockey, so yeah, 70s. Would you trade Suzuki for Huberdeau? No. Ellen, yeah, I mean that's the problem, right? They put a requirement that um, limits the group of potential candidates. So, oh, I saw that picture, Bob. The when they announced KK, there was a female fan in the stands that just was like, "What?" I don't remember the look exactly on her face, but yeah, I saw that. He probably should have gone back to Finland for a year to then come up to the AHL for a year and then hit the Habs. So what is the timeline for players to come back? Come back from what? You gotta expand on that. I don't know. Come back from what? RPM says 70s for us old farts. Absolutely. Greatest time to be alive. It was a good time to be a kid, and it was a good time for hockey, especially if you're a Montreal Canadiens fan. The 1970s. Yeah, James, but didn't I don't know. Huberdeau still has a couple of years left on the contract. Who knows? He says he wants to play, doesn't mean it's going to happen. It would be nice to get him, but what is the timeline for players to come back from injury? Wow, I mean that depends on the injury. What injury are you talking about? Depends. If you're talking about, say, a guy like Austin Matthews, who's out with a wrist injury, which I don't remember exactly what the whole injury was, but it's a wrist injury. That could take a while, right? Especially if the guy likes, he likes to do that a lot. Then that could be a long time. But a wrist injury could take us literally a year, full year and a half. Like with Drew just went through that, and it could take a long time. And then you could have a a minor injury. It's your day to day. I mean, there's no set, like it takes this time from injury. It really depends on the injury, which I shouldn't have to explain that. I don't know why I did. But when you have a wrist injury, like seriously, when you like to do that a lot, that's a problem. So my advice to Austin Matthews is to turn off Pornhub and concentrate on hockey if he wants to get better this year. There's no kids out there, right? No, I hope not. Any Leafs fans still in the room? Matthews said in an interview he will be ready for opening night. Seen it on Sportsnet. Yep. Again, a wrist injury. I mean, he may be ready for opening night. First game in, second, third, fourth, fifth, takes a shot, and he heard something. Whatever. That happens a lot. Wrist injuries take a long time to heal. I don't know exactly what his was, though. To be honest with you, I don't. I'm making a joke about it. If you guys don't know what a joke is, I'm making a joke about it with what I said. But seriously, wrist injuries can take a long time. That is true, especially for a guy like Matthews, who's a goal scorer, relies on the wrist action for the shot and everything. Like, it's hard to say, and I don't know, like I said, what it was that what he did to his wrist. The image was of rolling the dice. Is that what it looked like? Okay, you can go with that. I know. How do I say it without saying it in English? If you're Greek, Malakia. If you're how would you say it in another language? That basically just that was it was rolling the dice. Yeah, rolling the dice. That's what it is. With this hand, it's rolling the dice. I'm right-handed, right? So this hand is different. That's probably more than I wanted to share with you guys, but hey, at this point, is there anybody watching? Still 30 people watching. Oops. In light of Carey Price's situation, I wonder how the pressure of NHL hockey, especially in hockey mad Montreal, affects young players. It must be massive mental pressure, some who are still teens. Yeah, especially if you become the scapegoat of things, or if you are a local kid who the French fans and French media put a lot of pressure on to be good, then it could be very hard on a kid. Definitely. And listen, everybody is different as well. I think a guy like Cole Caulfield, I don't think the pressure means anything to him. He's he's used to it. He says he puts more pressure on himself than he can feel from anywhere else. I think he can handle pressure here. We'll see. This is his rookie season, but yeah, it's different players handle things differently. Petty, yeah, I mean that's where you're like every country has names that you can kind of say, oh yeah, that he's that from there or from. No, that's not unusual. Man, when is Edmondson coming back? 2 to 3 weeks, they said for Edmondson. So yeah, he is. I don't know. It's a lower body injury. He was skating from day one in camp alone, not in practice, and apparently it never got better or worse. So, and then the coach was saying that, and then a day later, I think it was the next day, they announced that Edmondson would be out 2 to 3 weeks. So he's going to miss at least a week of the season, week and a half, and maybe longer. Ellen, I mean, he'll be able to shoot the puck. It's just, he might not have the same zip on it if his wrist isn't 100%. He might, yeah, it just might not be the same shot unless he's 100%. He relies on that. I mean, that's his thing, is his shot. So that wrist of his is really important. So, really, if his coach really wanted to make sure, he should really make sure that he, I guess there's parental controls on his computer and just close off the porn. Keep the porn out of there. That's all. What are my thoughts when the Habs got rid of Max Pacioretty? Um, I think it was a big mistake making Max the captain. That was a big mistake. Max is very, very streaky goal scorer. I didn't hate him or anything. I like him, but I'm much happier with the return we got for him. It made the team a lot better, and I never, I like Pacioretty, but I was not like, I didn't idolize him, so I was okay with it. And we got Nick Suzuki. And because of the trade, I discovered Nick Suzuki and Max who? That's what I say. RPM, you heard another month for Edmondson? Well, I mean, I heard 2 to 3 weeks. So if you 2 to 3 weeks, you're going to say a month. It's not that much different, but I heard 2 to 3 weeks, and it was from a good source. So I tend to believe it, but I did say it doesn't mean that he'll be back in 2 to 3 weeks. Could take longer. And I said the day before they announced this, I had done a video and I said it's worrisome. Edmondson's injury is worrisome that he's not back. He hadn't played yet, and turns out that it's worrisome. Uh, James Shaw, you're right about the high expectations that we put on and it'll never change, but it kind of needs to, in a way, in how we express our high expectations, because as much as you can say, well, they rushed the guy, they did this, whatever, we can damage, as fans can damage a player's confidence. There are a lot of things with that we can cause the effect. I don't know, the words aren't coming out. You get what I mean? So we got to be careful. We all have to be very careful about that. And media here, especially for French players, French media can be really, really tough on them. And that's been like that for a long time. I mean, like before my day, it's been like that here for since it became the Flying Frenchman, that marketing scheme. Ever since then, The French players have had a lot of pressure. Bob, you're right. There's the markets you named. There's no pressure from fans and media and markets like that. What are the worst trades in Canadians history? McDonough for Gomez is right up there. Well, that's right up there. That's the only one that's really coming to the forefront. If people want to answer that, what do you think the worst trades were in Habs history? But definitely McDonough for Gomez. It may turn out the Drouin Sergachev trade was bad like that. I don't know that you'd rank it as the worst though. Not a great one, but there's a few bad ones. Joe Fo in the ring. I just see you there. Hey, buddy. I want to get you guys on a podcast. I'm going to be doing a podcast soon on a live podcast. So I haven't forgotten you guys. So please don't think I did. So you're going to be hearing from me soon because I want to get the podcast going. I just got so many things going on right now. It is a little tough right now. I'm well. I hope all you guys are well over there at Jofo. Would I rather have Paquette or Chucky? Haven't seen Paquette enough really to make that, but I think I'm going to lean towards Paquette. I mean, as far as Chucky, we don't want Chucky back. You can't go home again. Forget that. He's not coming back. I don't want him back. Slinksy, that might be one of the reasons why you won't see Toronto win. There's too much pressure on them. That's why they choke. Maybe they learned that too, the TSN and Sportsnet. Stop doing it to them. But will the fans learn that? I doubt it. Wait, where did I go? Rangers Habs next week. Spoiler: 4-1 Rangers win. Yeah, well, you're a Rangers fan. I don't know about that. We'll have to see. We'll have to see how the Habs respond to this Carey Price. How they respond on the ice. Bob Cannon, why are you saying Chelios? I'm not sure why you're saying Chelios. Yeah, Jofo, that is 100% sure. I tell you what, Glenn Sather really fleeced Bob Gainey on that one. The Gomez trade. I really fleeced us. Patrick Waugh. Are you a Patrick Waugh guy taking over for? Is that what you're saying that for? Leclerc and Desjardins for Recchi got and well, Dion as well. I didn't like him, so I'm okay with that. But I can see Leclerc have gone, but throwing in Desjardins as well that made that a bad trade right there. So yeah, big overpayment just to get Recchi. If they got another player back, that was good. Different story, but you gave up two really good players and got one back. And then you gave up Dion as well, but I didn't like him. So awesome, Jofo. Hey, listen, I'm serious. I want to do. I want to get you on my podcast. We're gonna start it soon. Just it's a matter of finding the time in the day to do things. Chelios for a washed-up Savard was a hard one. Oh, you're right. That was a bad trade in the end because look how long Chelios played afterward. They thought he was washed up. It was Savard that was washed up, not Chelios. And I mean, Chelios went on to play another 40 years after that, I think, and won a few cups elsewhere. The meanest trade they ever did, Franco. That's the meanest trade, and that was Pierre Gauthier. Pierre Gauthier was just a piece of shit, not a good GM, and I don't think a good person. If you can do that, trade a guy in between periods, and then tell him to make sure he leaves his sweater. It's not his. I think that's what he told them too. So like they didn't, because Camilleri was speaking out about how badly managed the team was, the bad moves that were being made, and that's the way Gauthier paid him back. Rick, start a podcast called Rivals and get Leafs fans on it. Leafs fans are welcome, but no, I don't think so. We're working on it anyway. I haven't really decided on a name. It's going to be a new name. It's not going to be the same as the old one. Oh, it's that late, eh? SNL. Have a good night, Bob. Thanks for coming in. I appreciate it. I really do. And I think on that note, I think I might do the same. I started this really later than I usually do. So it is getting quite late. I want to thank everybody for being here. This was fun. I had a good time talking about whatever. So might be the last Saturday hockey talk for a little while because of the hockey starting as of next Saturday. We'll have a actual regular season game on Saturday. So it's possible, during the season, I do so many live shows. I don't know that I need to put more live shows on the air. So it's possible that I might, put it in here and there. When there is no game on a Saturday, we'll have it. But in general, there's a game every Saturday. So, yeah, so this will be probably the last one for a little while. Thanks, everybody, for being here tonight. It was fun. I hope you guys enjoyed it, too. And I'm trying to think of what's the schedule now. I think this is the last live stream till Wednesday. Wednesday will be opening of the opening night of the season. Montreal's in Toronto. I believe it's a 7:00 start. So 6 p.m. pregame show, 7:00 game. Matt will be here with me. So Matt will be back for that. And look for a weekend hockey update coming out probably tomorrow evening. It's going to take, tomorrow evening. And check out, I just put out, what did I just put out? The predictions, the early final predictions for the divisions, the standings. So check that out. And that's it. Have a great night. Enjoy the rest of Saturday night and enjoy your football tomorrow. And for you guys for the fantasy football, don't forget, it's tomorrow night at 8 p.m. Hopefully we'll see you all there. And we'll let you guys hear on the next live cast, let you guys know what the results were from that. So I'm babbling at this point, and I should probably stop. So thanks, everybody, for being here. Stay safe out there. Peace out, y'all. See you next one. Bye, everybody.